the last time I spoke to you guys was during Drawtectives, I believe, which, by the way, has been released by this point. This is coming out way later,
Oh
so uh,
Maybe the whole
I'm not gonna.
season's done. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, why don't we do some just very brief introductions from you two, starting with either whoever wants to start.
Karina, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Karina of Drawfee. Uh, I'm one of the hosts. I also run a lot of the merch stuff. I design a lot of our merch, not all of it, but yeah, and so on.
And I'm Jacob, also from Drawfee. I'm a host as well, and I'm the content strategist. So I come up with usually what episodes we're doing and the naming of them and making it all good for YouTube so that the clicks happen.
Now, I actually didn't know this, and I guess I should have assumed that there were jobs. Like it wasn't just like I don't know who does whatever, but okay. So I didn't know that you were the strategist of the group. Does each member have a specific like function or role?
Yeah. Yeah,
Kinda,
pretty much.
yeah.
We all do a little bit of everything when it's needed,
Sure.
but we all kind of have things we oversee. Like Nathan sort of like manages the stuff on the YouTube channel, like like posting and making most of the thumbnails and blasting out to the socials and watching the videos before they get posted to make sure they're all good.
Mm.
And then Julia handles a lot of the businessy side of things, like taxes and dealing with like sponsors and partners and things like that.
Gotcha.
So we kind of all have our little thing we do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what you guys do is fucking great. Like,
Oh.
we've done like little collaborations here and there in the past, and I've always been very impressed with what you guys do and just how quickly you can pull this shit off.
Thank
Karina,
you.
though, we actually met for the first time on Draw Detectives.
Yeah.
But again, my compliments extend to you, of course. Like, I was very impressed with just how well you also like draw on the fly. Like
Oh,
it's
shucks.
it's pretty astonishing to me. So I guess just to start things off, what have you guys been up to outside of your work lately? Anything fun? Anything in your downtime?
I have hobbies. Jacob has more hobbies than me.
Yeah, what are you doing in your hobbies, Jacob?
Let's see. Well, me and Julia also stream gaming
Mm-hmm.
stuff on
Yeah.
our Twitch channel, Secret Sleepover Society. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing that when we get the chance to. It feels like half my brain is freed up that normally has to be like drawing. It's like, oh, I can talk without drawing. This is great.
Who usually takes the wheel? Or is it like co-op or multiplayer stuff?
We alternate. So like Sunday nights are
Oh.
Julia's pick of the game and she usually plays it. And then Wednesday
Okay.
nights are my pick of the game and I usually play it. And then sometimes we pick like
Mm.
co-op ones or play online with other people or stuff like that. But it's a lot of fun.
S-
And then other than
So
that,
when it's not your turn, you're just like, wow, I don't have to do anything. I just get to watch and talk, and I don't have to draw or play or do anything. It must be
Yeah.
freeing for you. Yeah.
oh, it rules. I just have to sit there and like say dumb shit, which I love
Yeah.
to do.
Freedom.
What kind of what kind of games does Julia tend to favor, and what kind of games, or is there like a trend of like, oh, she likes these kind of games, I like these kind of games, or are you pretty like, is there a lot of shared interest in game types?
I would say there's definitely trends, but also that those trends have kind of shifted as we figured out what's really fun to stream versus what's really fun to just play.
Yeah.
Because like Julia loves like moody indie games, like story heavy, darker and aesthetic, and sometimes when it's like really like visual novel adjacent types of things, it can get really exhausting. I'm sure you know that, Sungwon.
Sure.
It can get really exhausting to play them and read all the dialogue. And like your throat is killing you by the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I tend to favor more like action-y stuff, like platformers and action combat type of reflexy type of things. But we also really like to play on our stream stuff that's like the right level of janky. Like there's so many busted games on Steam that are like, gas station a simulator or like barn finder, like just weird simulators, and there's usually like so much humor to be mined from them, so they're really fun to play in that regard.
Nice. Karina, what have you been up to lately?
Gosh, I'm just like, after I finish my day job where I draw, I like to draw.
I've been seeing some of these drawings and they've been fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. I saw, this is a while ago for listeners, but the Skate Sonic the Hedgehog crossover. Holy shit.
Yeah, because I started those on Drawfee streams and I was like, I'm taking up too much time on my little new pet project. So I just went ahead and banged them out. It's fun.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I haven't finished the show because I was...
we haven't finished it either as of recording.
Oh, okay. That doesn't matter for you then. It's just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Okay. I respect that. I was watching with the group, but we've kind of taken a pause. But
that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, we watch it together when we record in person, but we haven't been recording in person lately.
Yeah.
So. I see. I think I'm only like a couple episodes in, but so far it's great. I'm really enjoying it.
It's delightful.
Yeah, I saw the drawings. I was like, wow, there's so much power contained within these drawings.
That's what I do.
That and the what's the little cat called in Pokemon? The
Sprigatito.
Propriatore. What's it called? Like
Spaghettios.
What's it called? I forget.
Sprigatito.
Sprigatito. That's right. The evolution of that has been, I've been seeing that gracing my feed. Quite beautiful.
There's been so much fan art of that, too.
Yeah. I'm like, you're right. I did
deserved.
make a good design. And I will be disappointed with whatever it turns out to be. So I'm taking you all down with me.
Yeah. Just building up our expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess, Karina, since, you and I, out of the Drawfee group, have spoken like the least, or I guess,
least.
What do I need to know about you? What are like
that's a big
three
question.
things to really to get to know Karina?
I'm very online.
I can tell. Yeah.
Yeah. Geez. I don't know.
Okay, Jacob.
Yeah.
You tell me two other things I should know about Karina. Let's get a more objective view here.
Roast me.
Other than being very online, Karina's got some definite fandoms that she's associated with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fandom old blood. That's part of being very online. I've seen it all. Baby.
What are those fandoms?
Well, let's put it this way. At the time of recording, I've been Turning Red has come out recently, and I see a lot of people on Twitter being like, "Oh, post like your cringe stuff you did when you were 13," and I'm like,
"Yeah,
you mean my Yu-Gi-Oh fan art and playing Neopets and like Ace Attorney? That's the shit I still like." But yeah, all my first fandoms are fandoms I'm still in. I'm just
So I can understand Ace Attorney because I'm a big Ace Attorney fan as well.
Hell yeah.
But Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Do you keep up with like all the shows or is it just you're just
kinda?
Oh, okay.
I haven't watched like the latest one, but I keep up with all of it. Yeah.
And do you play the game as well?
Very casually.
I see.
I haven't done Master Duel, but I still log into Duel Links from time to time. I love
Yeah.
playing Ojama, and I love playing Crystal Beast. I love counting to 7. It's
Mm.
so fun.
I definitely have fallen off just because Yu-Gi-Oh got more complicated.
Oh,
Although
absolutely.
Master Duel, I did like pop in and try it, and I was like, oh, all these things that they like I've heard like in passing, like pendulum and XYZ and all these things. I was like, oh, these actually aren't that complicated. It's just they're very just circumstantial, like
Yeah.
depending on your deck. But
Yeah.
I see. And the Neopets. So is that something? Are you playing like
I do.
still?
Yeah, I got back into it during 2020, and yeah, I'm here for a bad time. So yeah, I still check in on it.
Doesn't half the site like not work anymore?
Yes.
Oh, see,
It's
that's what depressed me because I
Yeah.
tried. I every night because I don't know if I've talked about this with you, Jacob, but I used to be an addict. Like I'm not kidding. Like play every day, like for hours and hours, like back in when I was a kid, right?
Oh, I didn't know
and then
that.
I went cold turkey, and what I did was I took all my Neo points. I think I said this on the podcast before, but I took all my Neo points and I donated it all at once to the money tree.
wow.
Which is a like, and that was like millions and millions and millions of Neo points. Like, because again, I was a serious player, but I was like, I cannot. This is taking up way too much of my time. So I had to stop, and I did. But then intermittently since then, we've like snuck in and like tried a little more. Make a new account, play, for nostalgia's sake. But the last time I did, which was semi recently, I was like, oh my god, like half the games don't fucking work.
Yeah, like it's kind of because geez, Neopets like gets up to some shit. Like instead of updating the site, they're like might license out to some third party NFT companies, etc. So like it is kind of just I'm half here because I like out of love and nostalgia, and half here because it is a bit of a shit show and I kind of just want to see it happen. Because yeah, the site is very broken and I am emotionally attached to my beautiful Neopets, but and I love being a dirty little capitalist in a simulated economy, but like the site just fascinates me because it'll always break in the most fun ways.
Okay.
There was 1 week where, because every day you can get like the free omelet and the free jelly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there was like a 2-week period where the randomizer broke for the jelly. So you got the same thing every day for like 2 weeks until they fixed it. But it was individual to everyone. So whatever you got on the day that it broke is what you kept getting. So some people were getting poison jelly, etc. And my brother is a computer scientist. But I love to tell him about all these things. And he's just like, how do you break that? Like, how do you manage to code it so that it breaks like that? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There was one time it had a glitch where it would absolutely wreck certain ad blockers, and it almost bricked my computer.
Oh shit.
And,
okay.
I told my brother about that, and he's like, oh, I should try running Neopets on the computer we have at work for building like genomes. I wonder if it could brick that.
Wow.
So
yeah,
wild.
it's just a time.
And you've had your account since the beginning, right?
Absolutely not. I've had 3 accounts.
Oh shit. Okay.
2 since the beginning. One I made when I was like 8, and I made it with a fake email. So even if it wasn't deleted at some point, like I could never get back into it. I had another one where I lied about my age so I could use the Neo boards before I turned 13. And then the one I'm on right now, my only remaining account, is one that I started because I did the thing when I was a junior in college. I was really stressed during finals. So I was like, haha, gonna see if Neopet still works. And then I like fell back into playing it for 2 months. And then I quit cold turkey because I was like, it's destroying my life and I'm going to be out of the country for a couple weeks. So it's over. But I logged back into it for a Drawfee stream, and then I just started playing again because it's what I needed in 2020.
It'll always be there for you until the site collapses and
Basically.
dies.
Which could happen at any moment.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say because, like you said, the site, it's so much of it hasn't changed. It's just like spaghetti coated on top of itself at this point. I'm like, I don't know if it can go down. It's stuck.
Every time I visit it, I'm like amazed that like, wow, Tombola is the same since I was like 14 or whatever. Like, oh my God, like they've not changed. It's such a weird mishmash of like, this has been here since 2004. This seems brand new.
Yeah.
I don't know any other website that operates like this.
It's delightful. So
Yeah.
I stick around for it.
And since you mentioned, I gotta ask. Okay, Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
Like how diehard are we talking here? Like,
I was I've played every game except the investigations games. But I do have a set of posters from the investigation games because I entered a fan art contest like a really long time ago and I won. So they sent me like a set of Japanese like Miles Edgeworth investigations posters and it's signed by one of the staff.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
And I was in all the live journal communities back in 2008. Like, I've always been here.
Is there a reason why not playing the first investigations?
I think I just like didn't have time to do it when it came out, and then I never heard good things about it, so I just never got around to it.
Yeah, it's kind of rough. Like, I enjoyed it the first time I played it because it was a new Ace Attorney game, and you know it was Edgeworth. I love Edgeworth, right?
Yeah.
But
how could you not?
Yeah, how could you not, right? But I replayed it, and I was like, this kind of sucks a lot.
Yeah, like I've only heard
it's way too long,
middling things about it. So it's and I don't play a ton of games. I'm very bad at getting around to playing games, so it's just one of those things where I'm like, yeah, maybe someday. But yeah.
I also love Ace Attorney. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah,
Jacob,
don't let anyone think that I don't love Ace Attorney.
Favorite characters.
Okay. For me, it's Edgeworth.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Apollo.
You're one of those. Okay. Yeah.
My short king.
Yeah. And Jacob?
I gotta think on this because it's like Edgeworth.
What do you mean you gotta think on it?
Edgeworth jumps straight.
Ace Attorney.
Edgeworth jumps straight to the front of my mind immediately. He's definitely like my type of character. But part of what draws me to those games so much is that it's like the biggest art inspiration, the character design in those games. And like every character I see, I'm like, that's my new favorite character. And then I see a different one and I'm like, hey, that's my new favorite character.
Yeah.
They're all so charming and well designed.
Even Spark Brushel.
Oh.
I don't know who that is. I'm not as hardcore as y'all.
Toothbrush guy.
He's not as hardcore. This guy is
not as hardcore. I've played
lawyer.
all of them. I've played all of them, but I've not beaten all of them. Like I dip into every one of them.
Which ones have you not beaten?
I beat the original trilogy.
Good, because if you hadn't, I would kick you off the podcast right now.
Disconnected from the call. I don't know that man.
Yeah, you just hear the Discord like call ended noise, and then no one acknowledges me again that I was ever there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think I beat Apollo Justice.
And you don't remember Spark.
Well, it's been a long. Like I played it when it came out, and I haven't played it since.
So have I, but I never forget
but I still,
Spark Brushel.
You're in the live journal freaking fandoms. I just played it, and then I put it away, and I played something else.
You don't have every single NPC's name memorized like we do.
Yeah, what a weirdo.
Yeah, what
I'm
a freak.
Googling it right now.
Oh god, you're better off not Googling that, man. But go for it. Yeah, he's horrible.
Oh my god, I take back what I said about the character designs.
I have such a fondness for him because I just remember back in the day, people would just like draw so much fan art of him because he was just so horrid.
Why is his face that color?
He was a character when he was on screen, I genuinely felt like ill. I was like, I just hate how he looks so much. So you beat Apollo Justice, and then what, 5 and 6 you dipped in but didn't finish?
I don't think I've beaten fully any of the ones since then.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Which I've been really enjoying the most recent ones, and I'm on the last case of the first Great Ace Attorney.
God, you all are so slow.
The problem is
I'm really slow.
I had something. Normally, I don't have games that really like engross me for a long period of time, but Final Fantasy 14 hit me real hard, and that's all I wanted to play. And now Elden Ring is doing that too. So I have two games that they're all I care about right now are these two games, and I'm not playing anything else.
Yeah, you're kind of a serial, like you start a game and then kind of like move on to another game, I feel. But I think it did take me a while to like get into playing Great Ace Attorney, just because it's like, you know, you got to sit down and do it, and I like to stay busy. But it's because I got like a tattoo around the time where I was like, okay, I should play this. And it really hurt. So I was just like laying around for several days. So I was just, so it was long enough to get me like sucked in.
Yeah, I'm also behind. Like I did the first 2 cases of the first game. And I enjoyed them, but I wasn't super like hooked like I usually am.
Yeah.
Usually by like case 2 of an Ace Attorney game, I'm like, okay, I'm balls in, right? But I'm going to go back and play them. But I'm kind of getting in the problem that Jacob has, where usually I'll play a game start to finish, you know, and I don't move on. But I was like, I never finished Pokemon Shield's DLC, so I just did that. I just finished Pokemon Shield's like Crown Tundra DLC. I don't know if either of you got into that at all.
Yeah, I did.
We played a little bit of it.
Did you do all of it, Karina?
Yeah.
I really got into the Max Slayer stuff.
In that I like once I get into playing a game, I will just like only play that game. I can't move on from it until it's like more or less done.
Yeah, that's usually how I am. But what happened for this one, I think is like with this one, I remember exactly where I left off. So when I jump back in, I'll be fine. Like most games, I can't do that, right? Like I'll forget everything and have to start over. But in this one, it's Ace Attorney. I know how to play it. So, but then I get distracted. I played all of the Yakuza Kiwami 2 all the way, you know, and like now I'm like sucked into Pokemon Arceus, you know. So, I'm distracted, but I have to go back because I do love Ace Attorney, and I do wanna. I was just sad because that sexy new prosecutor wasn't in case 2, and I was like,
that's fair. Yeah, part of it is that the pacing is so different for the first Great Ace Attorney. It's not the usual, you know, like starter case and then another case with, you know, a little bit of investigation. It doesn't ease you in as much. It's a lot more overarching story. So that was kind of weird, but once you get past case 2, it's a lot more.
I definitely got hooked on case 3, and I played through that one like pretty fast. And then I'm right at the beginning of case 4, so it hasn't had its time to like develop into what it's going to be about yet. Which is when I had time to get distracted.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm sure once I start case 3, I'll just be sucked in and play through all of it.
And that's when the sexy prosecutor shows up.
Oh man, like I was like, what? Like I guess mild spoilers for those, but what, we're on a ship and where's the guy. I was like,
is the guy here?
Show me
is
the guy.
here? Like, okay, we got this other guy. He's okay. Like, I mean, no disrespect to the Herlock Sholmes fans out there, but he's not my kind of guy. I want the guy who puts his leg on the table and has, like
Yeah,
wine
Mr.
and
Leggy.
shit.
The leggy.
Yeah, well, I want the leggy, not himbo.
Yeah.
So
Someone's like slamming his hand on the desk, going, "I want the leggy."
I want the leggy.
I would love an update once you do eventually meet Leggy on your opinion.
Oh, I'm sure once I meet Leggy von Weinsberg, whatever his name is, that you'll see my Twitter just like go ape shit about him.
Baby, I can't wait.
Oh man,
he is a guy, that's for sure.
Oh man, Sungwon, can I give you a Twitter compliment?
Sure.
It's something I like about your Twitter account is that I can always count on if someone's saying some dumb shit, you'll like put them on blast in the most satisfying way. And like I never do it myself. I'm always like, I don't know, I don't want to start anything, and then I kind of slink off, and then I see your tweets and I'm like, yeah, dude, get him.
Sometimes it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I always do it sparingly. Like like if I did it every single time somebody said some dumb shit to me, then you'd be like, okay, this guy's just kind of sad,
Yeah.
and even now you might think this guy's kind of sad. That's okay. But if there's one, I'm like, fuck it. It's like, talk shit, get hit. Like, because there's that people who are like, you really shouldn't. And I'm like, talk shit, get hit. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
stupid games, stupid prizes.
Exactly. Like, don't poke. Like, yeah. So every now and then,
you gotta make the hits count.
It's a little seasoning on the timeline.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun for everyone. It's also I usually don't do it with like a. Not that this makes me like a better person, but I try to avoid it like a direct quote retweet of someone, because that's usually like, oh, everyone's gonna just go to their Twitter, right?
Yeah.
I'll maybe do like a YouTube comment, because who's gonna actually go find the YouTube comment, find the thing,
Yeah, it's probably pretty safe.
It's a lot safer than like, hey everyone, like, attack this person right now, like
destroy them.
That's never my intention, first of all, but also that's always. People are gonna do that, and it's like, I don't want that. I don't want to encourage that kind of thing. But thank you. I'll take the compliment. I do enjoy being a spicy boy every now and then.
It's just nice to see. Sometimes I get secondhand catharsis.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you're just a nicer person than me, and so you should. That's my compliment to you.
I don't know about that. I think it's more like self-preservation. It's more like
let's
like
put
if
it
I
this
draw
way,
attention
Jacob.
to it, I might get more of it, and I don't want more of it.
You're a quieter person.
Yeah, that's
quieter,
definitely
smarter person.
Yeah.
It's very pragmatic. It's not out of kindness. I just talk shit in the Discord back channels, and
that's what everybody does.
Who doesn't do
like
that?
I think I've tweeted the like before, but like I've just been like every dumbass comment that like, if you're someone not listening to this, I hope you're not, who like makes like, and I'm talking like mean shitty comments, right, that are petty. Just be aware. You are being shit talked to pieces in a Discord server somewhere.
Yeah.
Everyone is just taking a fat communal dump on you,
tearing you apart in the Discord, bro.
Like we won't give you the satisfaction. At least I mean, usually, but sometimes I do. But most comments, it's like, no, you'll never know. But we are just making fun of you like crazy. So just don't make comments like that. It's just, I think I'm fortunate though in that the majority of my followers or viewers or whatever are pretty chill and laid back and pretty cool.
Disclaimer, like 99% of people I feel I've ever had to interact with online, delightful, super nice.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
We got a very nice fan base. I always feel like we have to say that whenever we complain, because it's like some people have it so much worse than we do. But
yeah. I always try to make sure, like, that I don't even know why I'm getting into this, but why not? Where I like, there are certain types of people where I'm like, I don't want you in my audience. Like, you know, your alt-right fucks and your, you know, like racist people. That should seem obvious, right?
Yeah.
But there are some people who just clearly don't care. Like, and I'm just like, yeah, just I like to make it clear, hey, like, none of that shit allowed, you know. And then of course you get put on like lists of like, oh, this guy sucks, this liberal piece of shit. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, we get some of that too.
Yeah. Well, it's just, and usually a lot of it just comes from like, oh, like common decency. You know, it's like, oh no, how dare we you know, try to be commonly decent. But now for I like to ask the guests, is there a question that you would like to ask either me or the group, or a topic you'd like to bring up to the group? If not, don't worry about it.
Oh, give me a sec. Let me think here.
Sure.
Because I know there's got to be.
Sure.
This isn't a question, just something I thought of.
Yeah, what's up?
I remember when you came to do the New York live show. That was where we met the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I told you then, but it was a very cool moment for me, just because like I knew you online like for a long time before that.
Okay.
And it was one of those really cool moments where I was like, oh, A, this dude's super nice and chill. And B, it's cool that like we've managed to like develop our channel to the point where like we can reach out to people and they might actually say yes and come like do something with us.
Yeah.
So it's just cool. I'm happy that you know, we're friends now and can do stuff together. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I felt the same way when I logged on for Draw Detectives.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, absolutely, like, my pleasure. Like, and like I've said at the top, like, that's not me just saying things. Like, you guys are fucking talented as shit. So, you know, for me, it's like a no-brainer. For me, it's like I get to have an easy job. Just go on, be a dumbass, and you guys do all the magic. But now, I'm a little curious. How long back are we talking here in terms of
Oh, for like
either
for
one
seeing
of
you
you
on YouTube or seeing your videos and stuff?
Sure, yeah. Just out of curiosity, because sometimes I ask this question and I get very interesting.
Yeah, what's your first memory of me online?
Yeah.
I'm like horrible with dates and time. But
Sure.
I mean, it was definitely way before I had any sort of online presence at all. So I think that's like what makes it like a cool development thing, because it's like I didn't have like any followers. And I was like watching, you know, your videos and stuff.
Got it. Would this be like, let's divide into eras?
Yeah, what are
Tumblr
your
era, Vine era, YouTube era?
It was probably Tumblr era, because I started on Tumblr.
Shit.
Wow.
Oh,
Tumblr was my
shit.
first like
Okay.
where I started making comics in college.
Yeah.
So that would have been my primary social media at the time.
So you're like old school.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel
Way
like you're
back.
also just one of those folks who's kind of been ever present on the internet in many ways. Like, I'll put it this way. I'll embarrass both Jacob and I a little bit.
Sure.
Because we both separately were in Georgia in December, because I went with a bunch of my friends to stay in a cabin. And Jacob was just also there at the same time. So he came over one day to the friend cabin, and we had a hot tub at the cabin, and it had a Bluetooth speaker. And we were all just hanging out in the hot tub, and someone who wasn't in it was in charge of the speaker. And we just thought it was funny that since several of us were inside, the speakers were underwater. It sounded like the music was drowning. And whoever was in charge of the music put on your Goofy cover of Bring Me to
Wow.
Life.
Wow.
And we're just sitting there like, yeah.
It sounded like Goofy drowning, singing Evanescence, and we like
You're like,
couldn't stop laughing.
Like that. Yeah.
But it was also a thing of like, hey, we know that guy.
Yeah, super funny like coincidence, but
Yeah, no, I mean that's it's funny. Like, I have found out from like people who I'm pretty close friends with, like they will confess to me later, like, yeah, I knew who you were since you were doing like webcomic dubs in 2013 on Tumblr, and I'm like, ha ha ha, like, nerd. Like,
give him a big wedgie.
Okay,
yeah, exactly.
But the folks who, like, especially went on to be, like, professional voice actors who are doing comic dubs on Tumblr, they're the real ones.
Oh, and that's pretty much everyone in my generation of voice actors.
Yeah, that's
like,
what it seems like.
They all were like either doing the so there's like different groups. There's like the Tumblr sort of voice acting or dubbing people. I was one of those, right?
Yeah.
A little bit before that generation, whereas it was what the hell was that forum? I wasn't really part of it, but the voice acting club, voice actors alliance or something like that. It was something like that. And a lot of people, I won't name names, but we're definitely part of that, doing fan dubs. Oh yeah, like so for me my starts were doing dubs of like Ace Attorney and Lackadaisy and all that stuff, and yeah, I do
love to see that though, because there is like, you know, some big names I see who are, you know, doing dubbing and stuff now, where I'm just like, I remember you from like YouTube when
yeah,
you
exactly.
were much younger,
Mm-hmm.
and so was I.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
so
there
cool
are
to
even
see.
people who weren't. Yeah, even people who weren't necessarily known for like being online or whatever, but they were still making the shit. Like, yeah, like so many people who are my peers in voiceover. I'm like, yeah, I remember your fan dub. I remember that. And I think it's like this like shared sort of like camaraderie, right? Like I mean, it may be like initially embarrassing, but like no, like this is where, you know, I always describe it as like there's like the old guard who sort of stumbled into voice acting, like, well, what's this, Japanimation? Okay, I'll give it a shot. And then there's like my generation, which were like, please let me be a voice. Oh my god, I want to be a voice actor. Like, just like doing everything we could online and fan dubbing and everything to get into it. So it's like this weird divide. There's like some people in the middle too. Like, I think like Matt Mercer was one who was like in the middle. Like, he was a fucking nerd, but you know, was kind of like low key about it. But now everyone's just fucking very online, including myself. We just go full blast, like with our our fucking weebiness and our love for the shit.
It's so great.
So, yeah, it's a very interesting, rewarding shift, I think, in seeing who like kind of is in it now. And I'll continue to see more people like become prolific and be like, oh man, like, you know, it's great to see, but it's like, I knew you from, or I saw you as like someone who's also doing fan dubs, and it's great to see that more people are entering the industry that way.
Yeah, because it's like a career path that basically y'all sort of invented. Like, it wasn't like there was a roadmap of like, make a fan dub here until you get this job. Like, that didn't really exist.
Yeah, it was online. Definitely made it made voiceover a different way to get in. You know, I think the closest thing to it in the past was like, I don't know if you guys know why am I blanking on his name? Let me look up his name real quick. Dawes Butler, who is like the voice of, like, you know, Huckleberry Hound, like, you know, all the Hanna-Barbera character, Yogi Bear, you know.
Right.
I know way back when there were some people who like used to write him like fan letters, like Nancy Cartwright, who's like Bart Simpson, I think was one of these people. And like, so back then it's like you wrote a letter to a voice actor and then maybe they were kind enough to respond. And then he's like, okay, I'll teach you free classes, which is insane to me now to think of like free classes from one of the like legends of voice acting. But yeah, that was like the closest thing back then you could possibly have to like that. Now it's, while it's still very difficult to get into the industry, it's definitely more accessible, I guess, or at least like possible. Whereas before it seemed almost impossible unless you knew someone. It's still kind of that way, but at least with online you can show your prove your chops, like, you know what I mean, like showcase your talent. And I think that goes not just for voiceover, but for, you know, animation. You know, a lot of people get jobs in animation just by showcasing their work online, and it's a nice time, I guess, for that.
Yeah.
I guess still a very crowded field, but you know, better than just never ever having the chance, you know. Now, Karina, did you have a question or topic you wanted to bring?
I don't know. I just came here for a good time, but I guess if I were to just throw a statement out there on the topic of you doing live shows, I am in possession of the Akatsuki jacket that I think you had for one of them.
Oh yeah,
That's mine now.
Did I wear an Akatsuki jacket?
yeah. You had an Akatsuki jacket that I think you just like took from our wardrobe or borrowed from our wardrobe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I did
Beautiful.
that when I was raiding the office when we left.
Was that and that was in New York?
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I did the live show.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was just like,
don't
does
even
anyone want
remember that.
this? And they're like, ProZD wore that.
The ProZD.
And I was like,
wore
wow.
that.
Well, I think it would make a good house robe.
ProZD is a real member of the Akatsuki.
Yeah.
I am, actually.
Yeah, it's on that chair over there behind me.
As where it should be.
At all times.
Yeah.
That's my statement.
I'm glad to know that the Akatsuki jacket that I forgot I wore is being well taken care of.
Yeah.
It's in good hands.
Now, did either of you have, I guess on that note, have a Naruto phase?
Not really. I mean, it was like not a full Naruto phase. It was like I had friends who had a Naruto phase and I was there helping.
Okay. You were like cheerleading on the side.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I definitely had a Naruto phase. Because I was like reading it when Shonen Jump first came to America. And like, first of all, that was like the best. The first time I got a Shonen Jump, I was like, this is fucking incredible.
Yeah, they're so big.
And I was like a Bible.
Yeah, I was stoked every month. And so I was reading it in that, and it was like, you know, one of my faves in Shonen Jump at the time. And then I definitely watched the anime up to a point, and then at some point I just fell off.
Yeah, like
where'd you stop?
I watched and read it, but because I stopped around the time that Orochimaru was just starting to like fuck around at the tournament, and
oh, that's pretty early still. Okay.
Yeah, the Chunin exams.
Yeah, like I fell off pretty early, but I did read it in Shonen Jump and I watched some of the anime as well.
I see.
But yeah.
Yeah, I read the manga up through Pain.
Okay. So you got pretty far.
Yeah, and then after that I stopped.
You probably stopped after I stopped. I stopped when a certain character dies in that arc. And I was like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I didn't care anymore either. I just finished the arc out of like inertia. But I was like, this enemy is stupid. This arc is stupid.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt too. Now I guess Jacob, I'll ask the same question I kind of asked Karina before. fandoms, I guess.
Fessa.
What are some of your die-hard like fandoms you've, nurtured in your heart since your youth?
I've never been a huge fandom person. I've always just like liked a ton of different things.
Okay.
But I don't ever interact with like the communities around those things.
Oh no, you don't have to necessarily interact with the community.
Like, you just have to care a lot.
Yeah, just something you like have loved a lot.
I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, I can tell you straight off the bat that I'm diehard Haikyuu.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I adore Haikyuu so much. I finished reading the manga. Obviously, it's done now.
Mm-hmm.
The anime has been incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, something about that show, it just gets me. I think it's because I started watching it with like zero expectations.
Okay.
I was just like, somebody said this was good, and I just put it on. And then like, by the end of season 1, I was like, I would die for any one of these boys. Anyone on any team.
Karina, do you watch Haikyuu or read it?
I don't. Jacob and Julia have been trying to get me to for so long.
We'll do it someday.
Yeah, I'm really bad at like actually sitting down and watching things. It is a bit of a group effort to get me to watch anything. So very rarely do I do anything on my own volition.
I have watched up to season 3. I actually recently did a rewatch of seasons 2 and 3, and boy howdy, do some of those moments, they're just incredible. Just absolutely incredible.
They hit so hard. And like when you watch them again, it hits even harder.
Yeah, especially even when you know what's coming.
Yeah.
Just seeing the buildup and the catharsis. Whew, oh my God. Like, I won't say the specific moment, but there's a moment in season 3, I think you know the one I'm talking about, with a character.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh my, the way the characters react, I'm reacting the exact same way.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Oh
I'm like
God.
Tears in my eyes, screaming on my couch.
Exactly.
And it's like, this is high school volleyball.
Yeah.
It's so funny that it's so impactful. I mean, it's just really good character building and really, really good attention to character development, like long term.
Yeah.
Like the author is always thinking about the characters from the beginning of the series and like how they've developed.
Yeah.
And I love that kind of thing.
Yeah. I have I think special edition of the Blu-rays, and they include interviews with I think it's cast members interviewing other cast members, which is really interesting. And so it had again, I don't want to go into too much detail about which character, but you know the one I'm talking about, Jacob.
Yeah.
And those of you listening, you know the one I'm talking about. Like, that particular actor was like, he was told by the director, like, we're building up to this. So in season 2, this is your mindset. Season 3, like, and this was also, they didn't even know if they were going to have a season 3. Each time they get a new season, there's like they don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But they were like, so it's really kind of interesting in season 2. They were like, there's a part in a theoretical season 3, and your arc is just burning up to that, which is the amount of thought, I guess, put into even the direction, I think, is really, really cool.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
You should watch it, Karina. It's great.
I know. Everything I've seen and heard about it, nothing but good things. I'm really bad at sitting down and watching things.
We'll watch it
takes
together
work.
sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be when it's my birthday. All I want from you and Nathan is to watch Haikyuu with me. That's the only present I need.
Deal. Yeah, and then on my birthday, we sit down and watch Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. The whole thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll do it. I'm down.
Subbed or dubbed?
That's, because I love the dub.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. But the sub is objectively the correct choice. And it actually is finished, unlike the dub.
Oh, the dub never finished the show?
You've watched Yu-Gi-Oh! GX?
A little bit.
Oh, okay. Because there's 4 seasons, and they
Mhm.
ended it on the second to last episode of season 3, which makes it seem like a character dies permanently.
Oh, interesting.
Because that
Was
character
was
comes back on the next episode.
Oh.
It's very
But
funny.
Was it like they just lost the license or something at that exact time?
Don't fully know. I think it had to do with like money issues. If I had
Is
to
it treated
speculate.
like an ending, or is it treated like a cliffhanger and they never?
It's
never
kind
see
of
the end?
treated like a cliffhanger, and they just never finished.
That sucks.
That's so funny.
It's
Kind of like the One Piece dub. Okay, interesting.
Basically,
I imagine it must have been around the same time then, maybe like when the One Piece dub also like lost. They all stopped doing that.
Yeah, probably.
Interesting. Okay, well now I got to know favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character.
Gosh. Manjome from GX or Chaz.
Manjome.
Chaz
Oh.
Princeton.
Okay, I was like, I know who that is.
Yeah.
I know someone who also really loves Chaz Princeton.
He's
Now,
the best. But my second answer is Jim Crocodile Cook from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
Jim Crocodile Cook. Okay,
Mwah.
let's see who. Oh my God. Okay.
My two good
now,
boys.
I'm familiar with Chaz Princeton. I'm not familiar with Jim Crocodile
He's a
Cook.
season 3. He is a delight. I love him so much. He's just a good boy.
What's his essence boiled down in like 1 or 2 sentences?
He is just morally and personality-wise the best character. He loves animals, and in the Japanese dub, he sprinkles little English into his his words. Like he'll be like, he has little English nicknames for some of the characters, and it's very cute.
Does he always carry around a crocodile?
Yes,
with him?
that's Karen.
That's
Karen?
Karen.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
She's a character too.
Of course.
I kind of need to watch the rest of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, I think. Now, is there a season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or not a season, like one of the shows where you're like, this is the best? I assume it's maybe GX for you then.
Yes.
Then which one is the worst?
Like I said, I haven't watched all of them. I haven't watched Vrains because I found it too dry. I like goofy shit. So Vrains is very plot heavy, and it has like an older cast, so I don't enjoy it as much, unfortunately. But I think my personal worst is Arc 5, because that one I did enjoy. I loved it very, very much, and then it was just like really bad at the end. Season 1 is amazing. Everything after that, it's just a slow descent into hell, and I'll never be happy.
God,
I did a
you've made lot
long
of
video
Yu-Gi-Ohs.
essay about it on my personal YouTube channel.
How many Yu-Gi-Oh shows? I'm looking. There's like
We're
there's
on
so many.
7. Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh shit! So it's like
7s.
Yu-Gi-Oh! 7. Well, that makes sense. Yu-Gi-Oh! Then GX.
Yeah, then
5Ds. Zexal, Arc 5, Reigns, and 7s. Okay.
Yeah.
God damn.
I
And
like
there's, like-
Joey Wheeler.
Hey.
Yeah, I know.
I like that guy.
Jacob, do you have any other fandoms that
Yeah.
besides Haikyuu that spring to mind?
Do I have other fandoms? What do I even like?
You like Final Fantasy 14.
I do like Final Fantasy 14. I also love all of the Souls games, all the FromSoft games. I'm a big fan of, which I know is like freaking Discourse City on the internet. I just like them.
Yeah.
I don't. It's fine if you don't like them. I don't mind. This is to the commenters.
No, I want like a very divisive, like either way, just getting people mad at you comment, please.
Yeah.
If you don't like them, it's because you're bad at games and a baby.
Okay.
And all of your criticisms about accessibility options are invalid. I think if anything, it needs less accessibility.
Exactly. I think you shouldn't be able to hit the enemies.
Yeah, it's too easy if you can hit the enemies.
Yeah. You need to, I think these games, I've never played them. That's not true. I played a little bit of Demon Souls. But I think these games should be, instead of you like hitting the monsters, it's you just have to dodge them until the monster itself gets tired and dies of old age.
Yeah.
So in real time, like, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. You shouldn't be able to like run. You should just roll.
It should be called Dodge Souls.
Yeah.
And all you do is dodge.
The thing is, I'm sure we will see this at some point. Like,
I would play it, honestly. I bet it'd be kind of fun.
That actually doesn't sound that bad. Like, just dodging.
Yeah. A new speedrun challenge.
Dodge only, my God. I feel like, though, my actual feelings about the games is that the reason I love them has nothing to do with the getting good or the hard or any of that stuff. It's because they're all just weird as hell and really funny in like a strange way. In a unique way that only those games sort of deliver, this like weird bizarro humor. It's just very unique to that series in a way that really appeals to me.
I see. But really, it's about getting good, and people who aren't good are bad at games. And
that's the subtext.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm jumping around here, but Karina,
yes.
Fandoms.
Yes.
Are you the type for hardcore ships?
Maybe.
So Ace Attorney ships. What are your Ace Attorney ships?
Apollo, Clavier. You gotta.
Okay.
There's no other choice other than Edgeworth and Phoenix.
Sure.
Gosh. I feel like. Look, most things work. If I can't ship the protagonist of any given Ace Attorney game with at least 4 other characters, like I feel like that's incorrect. So like, let's put it that way. Look, I was there back in the day. I was on LiveJournal. I know. So
you were in the trenches, the shipping trenches.
Yeah. Look,
is there
I'm
a ship you have that's more? Because obviously Phoenix Edgeworth is, we know, and Apollo Clavier. But is there a ship you have like a diehard ship that is more unexpected, more like I didn't think about these two.
God, see, I haven't been like as deep in the Ace Attorney fandom in recent days, so I like can't think off the top of my head.
There weren't like two like NPCs. You were like, hell yeah.
Do you have one, Sungwon?
Yeah. What are you getting?
What are you leading towards here?
You know, it's not even that I had anything like that, but I just remember. Oh, what was it? Was it? I'm trying to remember the characters' names.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to get it wrong. I think it was like Yanni Yogi and some, I forget the other character in that pair. I just remember being like, I never thought to ship anyone with Yanni Yogi, but you know what?
Why would you?
It's one of those. It's one of those things because I feel like that mindset isn't as popular in modern fandom, but like back in the day, that was it. Okay, I have one because I saw ship art of this back in 2008. And I was like, this was something that was like a good like joke pairing that a lot of people did like really good fan art for. Charlie the plant and Billy the cactus. There you go.
My goodness. Okay.
That's a hell of a one.
And are we talking like anthropomorphic versions of them, or what do you call it, Gajinka versions of them?
Both. Yeah.
Wow. Who was on top? Cactus, maybe? Or
I want to
or is
say
it like-
Billy,
okay.
but I might. Yeah, that would make more sense, wouldn't it?
I feel like a cactus. Well, or it's like they want to subvert and like the cactus is on the bottom. Anyway, I
Yeah.
guess on the note of
They're
plants
verse. They're
fucking.
verse.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know in the comments who would be on top.
Yeah.
In terms of a cactus being fucked. But I guess on that note, well, thank you both for sitting down to talk. We've covered a wide gambit of
Yeah.
topics here. But before we head off, why don't you just plug your shit? Where can people find you? We'll start with you, Karina.
You can find me mostly on Twitter at this point at Dilphosaur. Yeah, spelt like Dilphosaur. Dilphosaur. And from there you can also reach like my website, email. I'm also on Tumblr. I do have a few videos on YouTube of me talking at length about my various Yu-Gi-Oh opinions. Feel free to check those out and leave a long comment disagreeing with me. Thank you.
Is that also Dilphosaur on YouTube?
Yeah.
Got it. All
Or you
right.
can just Google the name of my most popular video. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is objectively the best series.
Oh shit.
The call outs. For me, I'm mostly on Drawfee. You probably know that.
Yeah, that too.
I'm on Twitter at FloabComic, FLOAB comic, which was the name of my very old webcomic that no longer exists. And like I said earlier, me and Julia stream video games on Secret Sleepover Society on Twitch. And we also have a YouTube channel for those VODs, which is also called Secret Sleepover Society. So you can check that out too.
Oh yeah, well now that I've had you two on, I've had the whole Drawfee crew on, so I just unlocked an achievement for myself.
Yeah, you did it.
Collected them all.
Wow.
So thank you for letting me collect them all. All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.